is going on, YouTube? So coming back today, I've got my next top 10. So today I wanted to continue back in the MLB trend a little bit, and I want to do my top 10 MLB prospects. Now I'm going to draw obviously heavily off the list of the MLB top 100, but I'm going to mix in a little bit of my own opinions, just because MLB prospecting has always been one of my favorite things to do, and obviously I've got my own opinions of where I think some of the players should go. But like I said, this is extremely similar to the other list. So at I'll start number 10. Number 10, I've got the shortstop for the Washington Nationals, in the Washington Nationals system, excuse me. Might start the year on the opening day roster. That's not a for sure thing yet. He is 22 years old, out of North Carolina State. I believe the highest drafted player in North Carolina State history, 2014 13th overall pick, and that is Trey Turner. So Trey Turner is a guy that has already played in the majors. He played 27 games last year, 225 average, 1 home run, 1 RBI, 2 stolen bases. Obviously not anything that stands out there. He's not a guy that has an extraordinary amount of power. He is a leadoff or second in the order type of guy. Doesn't have a whole lot of power. In the minors, hit for 8 home runs, 54 RBIs, and 29 stolen bases. So the stolen bases will be there. He'll probably get you quite a bit of runs batted into. He's a talented shortstop, and he played 116 games in the minors. So at number 9, I've got the Pittsburgh Pirates starting pitcher, 2011 152nd overall pick, and that is Tyler Glasnow. Guy that I'm very high on. I think he could be an ace sometime within the next couple of years for the Pirates. 7-5 in the minors with a 2.39 ERA, 136 Ks, and about 109 innings pitched. He has not had any experience in the majors yet. I'm assuming he will get up there this year. Spent about 4 years in the minors now, so probably shouldn't be down there for much longer. He's obviously has developed extremely well in the minors, and a little bit of consistency, and I think he could be a frontline type rotation pitcher. So at number 8, I've got the Boston Red Sox 2015 signee, and that is the 20-year-old Yoan Moncada. Plays second base. He's a guy that will get you an extraordinary amount of stolen bases. In 81 games last year in the minor leagues, he got 49 stolen bases. I think this is a guy that does have, I would say, around 2020 potential in the MLB. I think this guy has one of the biggest ceilings of any player on this list. He doesn't have the best power in the world, but like I said, this is a guy that I could see developing a little bit of power. He's an extremely hyped teenage prospect, and I believe he's the #1 prospect in the Red Sox system. And like I said, aside from that, hit for 278, 8 home runs, 38 RBIs. So like I said, the power can be there. I think it'll develop. Like I said, he's only 20 years old right now, so got a few more years before he hits his prime, around 26, 28 years old. So at number 7, I've got the Milwaukee Brewers #1 prospect, and that is shortstop Orlando Arcia. So Arcia last year, he had a pretty good year. Ended up playing, I believe, 129 games in the minors, and really his first full season in the minors with the Brewers. And I believe he was signed in 2010 by Milwaukee, and probably should come up this year. This is a guy that I believe will hit for a very good average. Also will get you quite a bit of stolen bases as well. Around 8 home runs, 69 RBIs in the minors last year. So at number 6, I've got the Atlanta Braves 22-year-old shortstop, and that's Dansby Swanson. So Swanson, I believe, was a part of one of the biggest steals of any trade this offseason. The Braves were able to get him for only Shelby Miller, and I think Swanson will be a very good shortstop heading into the future. Only played 22 games in the minors last year, 289, 1 home run, 11 RBIs, so not a whole lot to go off there. But a guy out of Vanderbilt that I believe was the clear-cut #1 best player in the draft last year. And even though he is 22 years old, older than some of the prospects on this list, again, I think you can expect to see him in the majors probably 2017. Going to need another year in the minors, I'm guessing, maybe even 2018 before he's officially touted as a full major leaguer. Like I said, somewhere around the 2017-2018 mark. So at number 5, I've got the Philadelphia Phillies 21-year-old shortstop, and that is J.P. Crawford. So Crawford's had a good year in the minors had a good year in the minors last year. Hit for 289 in 107 games, 6 home runs, 42 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. He was the 2013 16th overall pick. Now, I think the thing that sticks out especially about J.P. Crawford is his combination of defensive ability and also just his overall bat and speed. He does have, well, speed's okay. 12 stolen bases in 107 games, but I think that might be able to develop, and I think this is a guy that will hit for a solid average really all throughout his career. Like I said, this is a guy that has Gold Glove type playmaking ability. He's also got a decent arm, so should be a very good defensive shortstop heading into the future. So at number 4, I've got the Los Angeles Dodgers 2012 signee, 19-year-old Julio Urias. So Urias did struggle with injury a little bit before coming over into the Dodgers system. He was 3-5, 3.81 ERA, 88 Ks in 80 innings pitched. This is a guy that is the second best pitching prospect in my opinion, just overall consensus in most people's lists. And I think he will probably end up debuting in 2017, so it'll probably be another year before you see him. He might debut this year, but like I said, the Dodgers are kind of trying to control his innings because of injury. So I'd say late 2016, early 2017 is the debut time you're looking at for him. So at number 3, I've got the Minnesota Twins 2012 second overall pick, the 22-year-old Byron Buxton. So Buxton has played in the majors, 46 games, not too impressive of stats, 209, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. So I think the biggest thing with Byron Buxton is obviously just getting that average back up. In the minors, hit for a 305 average in 72 games with 22 stolen bases, 45 RBIs. So the stats can be there with the bat. This is a guy that I believe last year was the number 1 overall prospect at one point, and I think he can still be back at that point. He is one of the fastest players in this prospect class. He's a very good defender, and I don't know if I believe the 2020 numbers could be there. The power's just got to develop a little bit more, but he is a solid bat contact-wise. Will be a good top-of-the-rotation hitter for Minnesota for quite a while, in my opinion. So at number 2, I've got the number 1 pitching prospect, and that is the Washington Nationals 2012 16th overall pick, the 21-year-old Lucas Giolito. So Giolito, I believe, is the 3rd overall prospect right now if you're looking on MLB.com, and I think you could expect to see him this year. He last year pitched for, I believe, 117 innings through Single-A, and 3.15 ERA, 7-7 record, 131 Ks. He's got some of the best, or I think some of the nastiest stuff in baseball. One of the best fastballs, good curveball, and I think the control's got a little bit of work to do. Might have the highest limit, or might have the highest potential of any, I guess, highest ceiling of any pitcher in this prospect list, just overall in the minors, and definitely could be a frontline Nationals pitcher, I'd say, by the beginning of next year. See what happens with guys like Steven Strasburg and Max Scherzer, but for right now, the future for Strasburg is a little bit murky with the Nationals. So at number 1, I've got the Los Angeles Dodgers shortstop, the 21-year-old 2012 18th overall pick, Corey Seager. So if you saw my ESPN Fantasy Baseball Live draft, I actually ended up picking Corey Seager. I got a lot riding on him this year since he is in my money league. And last year in the minors, played 125 games, 293, 18 home runs, 76 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. Probably got the best bat of any player in this class. Not extremely fast, but I think this is a guy that has the potential to be a 30 home run, 100 RBI type player. Maybe 25 home runs. But like I said, he's got definitely the highest ceiling of any player in this list. Last year in the majors, 27 games, 337 average, 4 home runs, 17 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. So the bat definitely was there, and led into a lot of hype for this year. So that concludes my list of the top 10 best prospects heading into 2016. If you think there's any dark horse prospects that you think are good, there are a few players on here that I did not mention just because I I know they still technically qualify as prospects, but I believe the most notable one is Joey Gallo. Another one, Steven Matz. I consider them to be pretty much major leaguers at this point, since they had a set tenure last year and probably won't require any time in the minors, and pretty much have their spot set on the team this year. I guess Byron Buxton could kind of be that way, but he struggled in the majors a little bit last year. I'm going to post the link to the MLB Top 100 prospect list in the description below. I might also give it to the Baseball America I believe it's Top 100 prospect list as well. So that's pretty much it. This only leaves one league left for me to do my top 10 most hated teams. But anyway, I've already done college football. There's going to be some resemblances, but not really too many. They're two different sports with two different groups of college powers, so there obviously will be differences. So start at number 10, and I've